the misuse of language induces evil in the soul. He is richest who is content with the least, for content is the wealth of nature. Once made equal to man, woman becomes his superior. If all our misfortunes were laid in one common heap whence everyone must take an equal portion, most people would be content to take their own and depart. By all means marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. The really important thing is not to live, but to live well. And to live well meant, along with more enjoyable things in life, to live according to your principles. Are you not ashamed of caring so much for the making of money and for fame and prestige, when you neither think nor care about wisdom and truth and the improvement of your soul? Contentment is natural wealth, luxury is artificial poverty. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance. We cannot live better than in seeking to become better. The beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms. He is not only idle who does nothing, but he is idle who might be better employed. The children now love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority, they show disrespect for elders and love chatter in place of exercise. Now the hour to part has come. I go to die, you go to live. Which of us goes to the better lot is known to no one, except the God. Such as thy words are, such will thine affections be esteemed, and such as thine affections will be thy deeds, and such as thy deeds will be thy life. The highest realms of thought are impossible to reach without first attaining an understanding of compassion. Beware the barrenness of a busy life. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. The hour of departure has arrived, and we go our separate ways, I to die, and you to live. Which of these two is better only God knows. Be slow to fall into friendship, but when you are in, continue firm and constant. Think not those faithful who praise all thy words and actions, but those who kindly reprove thy faults. A system of morality which is based on relative emotional values is a mere illusion, a thoroughly vulgar conception which has nothing sound in it and nothing true. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. As to marriage or celibacy, let a man take which course he will be sure to repent. Through your rags I see your vanity. I pray thee, O God, that I may be beautiful within. Every action has its pleasures and its price. He who is not contented with what he has, would not be contented with what he would like to have. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. Be true to thine own self. I know you won't believe me, but the highest form of human excellence is to question oneself and others. The easiest and noblest way is not to be crushing others, but to be improving yourselves. Wisdom is knowing you know nothing. As for me, all I know is that I know nothing, for when I don't know what justice is, I'll hardly know whether it is a kind of virtue or not, or whether a person who has it is happy or unhappy. Sometimes you put walls up not to keep people out, but to see who cares enough to break them down. Not life, but good life, is to be chiefly valued. The unexamined life is not worth living. Wealth does not bring goodness, but goodness brings wealth and every other blessing, both to the individual and to the state. Beauty is a short-lived tyranny. How many things can I do without? All men's souls are immortal, but the souls of the righteous are immortal and divine. Children nowadays are tyrants. They contradict their parents, gobble their food, and tyrannize their teachers. Death may be the greatest of all human blessings. Be as you wish to seem. Wealth does not bring about excellence, but excellence makes wealth and everything else good for men, both individually and collectively. If you want to be a good saddler, saddle the worst horse, for if you can tame one, you can tame all. The mind is everything, what you think you become. Thou shouldst eat to live, not live to eat. To express oneself badly is not only faulty as far as the language goes, but does some harm to the soul. Do not do to others what angers you if done to you by others. My advice to you is get married. If you find a good wife, you'll be happy. If not, you'll become a philosopher. Are you not ashamed of heaping up the greatest amount of money and honor and reputation, and caring so little about wisdom and truth and the greatest improvement of the soul? One thing only I know, and that is that I know nothing. There is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance. I am not an Athenian or a Greek, but a citizen of the world. When the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. Envy is the ulcer of the soul. No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. What screws us up the most in life is the picture in our head of what it's supposed to be. To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. The greatest blessing granted to mankind come by way of madness, which is a divine gift. Living well and beautifully and justly are all one thing. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. It is better to change an opinion than to persist in a wrong one. Be nicer than necessary to everyone you meet. Everyone is fighting some kind of battle. Prefer knowledge to wealth, for the one is transitory, the other perpetual. An unconsidered life is not one worth living. Understanding a question is half an answer. To move the world we must move ourselves. Wonder is the beginning of wisdom. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. The hottest love has the coldest end. He who is unable to live in society, or who has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must be either a beast or a god. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. There is no greater evil one can suffer than to hate reasonable discourse. Wisdom begins in wonder. My plainness of speech makes them hate me, and what is their hatred but a proof that I am speaking the truth? All I know is that I do not know anything. Be of good cheer about death, and know this of a truth, that no evil can happen to a good man, either in life or after death. Let him who would move the world first move himself. One should never do wrong in return, nor mistreat any man, no matter how one has been mistreated by him. Is it true, is it kind, or is it necessary? To find yourself, think for yourself. The only thing I know is that I know nothing. My friend, care for your psyche, know thyself, for once we know ourselves, we may learn how to care for ourselves. I know that I am intelligent, because I know that I know nothing. From the deepest desires often come the deadliest hate. Virtue does not come from wealth, but wealth, and every other good thing which men have, comes from virtue. Know thyself. True knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing. Give me beauty in the inward soul, may the outward and the inward man be at one. I only know that I know nothing. When you want wisdom and insight as badly as you want to breathe, it is then you shall have it. Those who are hardest to love need it the most. Strong minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, weak minds discuss people. In all of us, even in good men, there is a lawless wild beast nature, which peers out in sleep. There is no solution, seek it lovingly. Employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writings so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. Life contains but two tragedies. One is not to get your heart's desire, the other is to get it.